For the past several months, Madame Web has been ridiculed and mocked by nearly everyone because in the aftermath of The Marvels, a cringe girl boss team-up movie for Marvel, Sony decided that they can't be left out, that they need to do their own cringe girl boss Marvel movie, and they debuted the trailer for The Marvels, which got laughed at and mocked relentlessly. Well, now just a few days before it finally debuts in theaters on Valentine's Day, and it looks to be a complete and total box office flop, even worse than something like Morbius, the star Dakota Johnson is speaking out, not just about what made her want to get into superhero movies and things like that, but specifically taking shots at the entertainment industry, taking shots at Hollywood, and certainly with everything she's saying, it's almost like she doesn't seem very happy with the current status quo. It's almost like she knows this movie's probably going to be a disaster and it's going to be a lot of bad PR for her. So not only does she not seem super interested in talking about the movie itself or really engaging, but it certainly seems like she's taking a lot of shots, not just at studios, but also Hollywood in general. Not just at this specific studio, but at Hollywood in general. Dakota Johnson's Madame Web press tour is one for the books. Johnson seems to be less than thrilled with Madame Web, and we love it. And very specifically, she took a shot at all of Hollywood in the lead up to this movie. Dakota Johnson says Hollywood is fucking bleak, and streaming execs don't trust creative people, calls Nepo baby talk annoying and boring. Obviously, daughter of Don Johnson, if people are familiar with who Dakota Johnson is. And what really started this off was her talking about this smaller movie that they did, that they had trouble getting it off the ground despite it having Sean Penn and her involved. We made a movie called Daddy-O that was sold to Sony Classics, which was amazing, but it took a lot of fighting to get it made. People are just so afraid, and I'm like, why? What's going to happen if you do something brave? It just feels like nobody knows what to do and everyone's afraid. That's what it feels like. Everyone who makes decisions is afraid. They want to do the safe thing, and the safe thing is really boring. Well, to interrupt you there, Dakota Johnson, the safe thing right now is certainly not making an all-female superhero movie team up. That's not the safe thing. If you'd listen to fans, if you'd listen to the audience, that's one of the most risky things you could possibly do because in all likelihood, it's going to bomb at the fucking box office. So just wanted to point that out. Johnson says she's discovering that it's really fucking bleak in this industry. It's majorly disheartening. The people who run streaming platforms don't trust creative people or artists to know what's going to work. And that is just going to make us implode, she continued. It's really heartbreaking. It's just fucking so hard. It's so hard to get anything made. All the stuff I'm interested in making is really different. It's unique. It's very forward in whatever it is. That must be everything you're doing besides something like Madame Web. That looks like a mix-up between The Marvels and a CW show. Now, what I want to know is if this is stemming from her being so irritated. We talked about a week ago or so that in the aftermath of that horrific trailer, the trailer that went viral for how bad it was, that got ratioed so hard, where she was getting mocked, she left her talent agency, the one that got her that job. She thought she was joining the MCU, not the Sony Spider-Man universe with no actual Spider-Man. So it makes me wonder if some of the bitterness she's showing in a lot of these has anything to do with that. Now, she's not wrong about streaming. She's not wrong about streaming destroying the industry. We've talked about that a lot, how they completely phased physical media out, and now it's all about streaming, how that's changed so many things in Hollywood, how people don't take the same risks they would have before, and that's resulted in what we've gotten. But certainly, if you're going to call something a risk, you have to imagine that an all-female cringe girl power team-up superhero movie is probably one of the riskiest things you could possibly do. We'll see what happens. I think this is going to tank probably less than $30 million opening weekend at the box office. What do you guys think about the Madame Web star sounding off on Hollywood before the inevitable bomb of her movie? Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.